Hi everyone, my name is Elsa, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm super excited because I just discovered this book tag and I want to do it so much. So this book tag is entitled, I don't even remember, what is it? Superlatives book tags. So basically there's 10 questions, I added one, and you're supposed to give awards to books, like the best something goes to and I decided to do it a bit differently. So there are two things that are super original in my video. So first, all the books I'm going to talk about are my favorites. So no books in there that I just, but it fitted the category. No. All of them I'm crazy about. So if you're curious about them, just go read them, please. You have my blessing. And the second thing is you're supposed to choose one book for each category, and it's implied a novel. But as you might know, I'm crazy about mangas and graphic novels. So in this video, I'm going to choose 3 winners for each category. 1 manga, 1 novel, and 1 graphic novel. So there you have it. And by the end of this video, I think I will have covered like 90% of all my favorite books. And so you can, know my taste and what you can expect watching my channel. So the first category is most likely to be in the movies, the book that would make the best movie. So for the novel, I chose Deadly Education because the world building, the setting is so good. It just would be perfect for the screen, the characters, everything. I just think it would be a great, maybe not a movie because I think it would be too short, but a series. It could be a great show. Then for the graphic novel, I selected Zombilenium. It's French, it's so great, and actually a movie has already been made for this series, that's why I picked it. The movie is good, but the graphic novel is much better, so please read the graphic novel. And finally, for the manga, I selected Blue Flag because I haven't finished it yet. I read like 5 out of 8 volumes. It's so good. Like, I think it's going to be one of my favorite mangas of all time. And it still doesn't have an anime adaptation, and it's short, like I said, 8 volumes. So they could do, a good anime with that, so I'm hoping. Then we have the second category, the biggest drama queen / king, the most overly dramatic book or character. So I selected 4 characters for you guys, and oh my god, there are 4 drama king like you've never seen before. The first one, for the novel category, I have Jezal Dan Lufa from the Blade itself. Is he a drama king? Oh my god, he's an arrogant piece of shit of a knight, and he's hilarious. Like, the way he sees the world, the way he thinks about everyone around him is just so funny. I just love him, even though he's awful. Then we have, for the manga category, I have 2 for this one. So we have Tsukasa Domyoji from Hanayori Dango. Like, Tsukasa Domyoji, one of the best characters ever. He's so good, I love him. He's also, in one of the best couples you've ever read. And he's so freaking great. Like, his personality is so entitled, and he has his mood swings, and everything always has to be exactly like he wants it. It's just so perfect. And the other one is Ayame Soma from Fruits Basket. Fruits Basket is my favorite manga of all time, and Ayame is just so great. Like, all the characters in this series are amazing, but Ayame is something special, and he's a drama king if I ever saw one. He's arrogant, he listens to himself talking and doesn't listen to everyone else, and so funny and great. Then we have, for the graphic novel category, Don Lope de Villalobos y Sangre. So he's this wolf character in this graphic novel called The Cap et de Croc. He's this Spanish knight, so arrogant and entitled like all the others, and just perfect. Like, all of them, they have these big flaws, but you love them so much for it. Okay, third one, the best dressed, the book with the best cover. So for this one, I selected the Nevernight series because just look at the covers. And for the graphic novel, Black Sad. So Black Sad, so beautiful as well. And finally, for the manga category, Orange. Then we have the most creative, the book with the most unique plot, character, and structure. So it's plot, character, and structure. So it was a hard one because most of my books have all 3, but if I had to pick one for each category, for the manga, I would pick Attack on Titan because it's just incredible. If you don't know the series, just read it please, or even better, watch it, because it's the only manga I've read which is better as an anime. The anime adaptation is phenomenal. So the manga is great, but the anime is even better. When I first saw this series in bookshops, I thought it would be just, you know, this very stupid fight between men and titans, and it would be, you know, boring and stupid and just people, you know, fighting. It's not like that. It has great characters, and the plot and the structure are just incredible. Like, from the beginning you see how complex and developed it is, but you know, the more you go the more you read, the more you understand that the author is a freaking genius. And I almost finished it, and where I am at, like, just, you know, respect, like, just respect. For the graphic novel category, I selected Saga because the characters are incredible, the plot is incredible, I've never read anything like it. And finally, for the novel, I selected Anxious People. It's written by Fredrik Backman, one of my favorite authors, and this one I selected because the characters are a bit unrealistic, but they're so lovable and so complex and developed, and it's just so great. And the structure of the plot, I can't tell you much, but it's just incredible. You have this back and forth between the past and the present, and there are so many twists and turns in this book, like, just incredible. Then we have the most popular, so the book with the most ratings on Goodreads. So for the manga, it was My Hero Academia, which is, you know, obvious because come on, it's a school for superheroes. It's so good. Then we have Keeper of the Lost Cities for the novel, which is, you know, obvious also because it's so good. And then we have The Prince and the Dressmaker for the graphic novel. Just so beautiful. So, sixth question. Most likely to succeed, the book that is going to be appreciated for many years to come. I chose books that are pretty recent, because most of my favorite books have been around for some years and they're already super famous. So for the manga, I chose Promised Neverland because it's famous, but I think it will be one of the classics in 20 years because it's so incredible. Like, I could have put this one in the characters, plot and structure as well. For the novel, I chose The Mirror Visitor Quartet, which is La Passe Miroir in French, and is so famous in French. Like, it is our Harry Potter. So basically, it's been translated in a lot of countries, and we are so proud of it, and it's so good. So this one, I think, in France especially, it's going to be, you know, one of the classics of young adult literature. Then for the graphic novel, I chose Seul, so I don't know what the name in English is. I will put it here. And it's also so famous. It's been around for a few years, but I think, like, you know, in 50 years or so, when we think about the most important graphic novels, this one will be in the mix because it's so incredible. Same, incredible structure and plot. So, seventh question, Class Clown, the book that made you laugh out loud. So, for the manga, I chose Gokusen because it's a seinen and it's so freaking funny. Like, the characters are all so stupid, and what happens is so stupid, like, so funny. I also put De Cap et de Croc, so the graphic novel I already talked about. So this one is also really funny because the world is nonsensical and the characters are just, can't explain, it's just so funny. And finally, for the novel, I chose The Lightning Struck Heart. So this one has been written by the author of the Cerulean Sea, and it's just hilarious. Like, it's one of these books, like, you laugh every second page. Like, the characters, I've seen nothing like it. It's you know, gay humor, because all the characters are gay, and the humor is just so sassy and so ridiculous, and yeah, just hilarious, this book. Like, I was crying the entire time because I was laughing so hard. Then we have The Most Improved, so the book that started off slow but really picked up. So for the novel, I chose Strange the Dreamer. So this is my favorite novel of all time. But the problem is you can't say much in the summary without spoiling it, and the first quarter of the book, there's not much happening. Like, I was still interested reading it, but at one point the story goes from here to here, and then it remains there for the entire duology. So yeah, trust me on this one. It starts slow but gets so much better. For the manga, I chose Berserk. So Berserk, it's so good, but the first two volumes, look nothing like what it's going to become afterwards. They're good, but they're nothing like the rest. And then you have another arc that starts, and things happen, and it gets progressively better and better, and at some point it's just one of the best series ever. I also chose Bakuman by the author of Death Note, so it's so good, but also like the beginning is good, but just, you know, average, and then it gets to a whole new level. Sorry, I actually had a little technical problem because there's not enough space in my phone anymore, so I can't do videos. So I had to borrow my boyfriend's phone, and that's why the quality maybe has changed. I'm so sorry. So I was saying before my rude phone interrupted me that I selected for the graphic novel Siage. I don't know the name in English. And so this is a science fiction series. The first book in the series is okay, but it's only an introduction to the entire series. And then the second volume is even better, the third one even better, and from the fourth one, you're completely addicted to the series. So, next category, cutest couple. So this one, obviously for the graphic novel, I chose Heartstopper because just how can you not? And for the manga, it was really hard. I'm currently editing a video that I will publish soon, I hope, about the most romantic mangas. And so obviously there are a lot of mangas that I love that have absolutely adorable couples, but in the most adorable one, I'd have to say, is the one in Gaku and Alice, because they are just so cute. They are children, so you might, you know, discard it, and please don't, because the plot is amazing, the setting is amazing, the characters are amazing, and the love story is one of the most beautiful I ever read in any book. And just when I see them, my heart melts, just melts. For this category, I also have Fruits Basket for the cutest couple, because that's my favorite series, and there are so many incredible couples in this series, so I had to put it in it. And finally, for the novel, I chose The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, and I had to because just so romantic and cute. Then we have the best universe. So I added this category because I wanted to include the books I'm going to talk about. So for the novel, I chose Wings of Fire because, my god, it's so good. I love their world so much. So basically it's an entire planet where the main species is dragons, and there are 7 tribes of different dragons, and all the tribes are so different and so incredible with their own culture, etc. And so good. The way the dragons interact with each other, it's just incredible. All the tribes have queens. Like, you don't have kings in the world, only the girls can inherit the throne, and I'm sorry, but I love that. And yeah, just everything in this world is so good. And for this one, I also have Ewilan, which is one of my favorite series of all time, like all the ones in this video, but whatever. So it's a very famous French series, and same, like, the story takes place in a fantasy world that is just so incredible, and the magic system is, I love it. So yeah, so good. And then for the graphic novel, I selected The Legendaries, which is also so good. Same fantasy world with a lot of different species and different cultures, and the one specific quality of this world is that because of a curse, everyone is a child. Like, all the adults became children again. The drawings are just incredible, so yeah, so good. And finally, for the manga category, I chose Kamisama Kiss. And so this one, it's because it's heavily inspired by the Japanese folklore. You have all the Shinto gods in this series and all the Japanese myths and legends in this one, and I love it so much. And finally, the last one is The Biggest Heartbreak, the book that broke your heart. So for the graphic novel, I chose Saga because I cried my eyeballs out with this one. Then we have Beartown for the novel because it's so beautiful and touching, and I cried the entire book. And finally, for the manga, I chose A Silent Voice. So A Silent Voice is also so beautiful and moving, and same, I cried a lot reading it, but they are all so beautiful and just perfect. So yeah, these are all my favorite series, and I hope that piqued your curiosity and you will want to know more about this series. I think I will talk about each of them in a video at some point because I love them all so much. I hope you liked this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked it. If you read any of the books I talked about, please tell me in the comments. I love comments. And yeah, that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you around.